Alright boys, it's that time of the month where I gotta inform you guys on what is going to be coming to the NA version of FGO in this beautiful month of March. And this is going to be a very interesting month to say the least, because we have that whole like countdown to Lost Belt 6 thing looming over us. Still have absolutely no idea what is going on with that. We'll find out later on this month. I will say to anyone that's like really like wondering about it, even if they were to like Lost Belt 6 is coming early, it's coming right after the 22nd, it still wouldn't release on the 22nd, because if you scroll up to like when the Lost Belt 6 stuff releases, we get the pre-release thing first. So if it's the countdown to Lost Belt 6, we would still have a pre-release campaign with Da Vinci Rider. They might even, depending on how things go, maybe they'd bump like Artoria Castor around if they really want to push things off. But I really don't know what's going on with this, because shifting things around would really mess up the schedule, I would think. It would make things really weird for Anniversary. Like, would Oberon now be on the GSSR if he released before Anniversary? Like, it could just really mess up the schedule and how things are supposed to run. So I don't really think they would just drop it in like March or April. I still think maybe like if they wanted to bump it up a little bit, maybe May, but who knows? You know, at the end of this month, I might just be eating my own words. They're just like March 22nd, bam, here's Morgan. And it's like, what is that going to do to the schedule? I don't know. You guys will deal with it. So personally, me, as much as I'm looking forward to Morgan, I want her to stay back in like June, because I need as much time as possible to save up my Saint Quartz. I summoned for Tyra because I thought I had more time. I don't want to get punished because, you know, she released a little bit early. But before we actually begin, if you enjoy daily FGO content, make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that sweet daily FGO content. Also, make sure you peep those links down in the description down below. Primarily peep that Twitch link down there and come see your boy play FGO live, and maybe even a little bit of Arknights if we're feeling a little spicy on that day. But however, this video is once again brought to you by Bai. Now, if you don't know what Bai is, it's basically like Japanese eBay, so us people over here in the West can actually gain access to some products that just never come out over here. In fact, as I was recording this ad, I was like, dude, I didn't even know this John figure existed, right? Because we just don't get as much stuff as people in Japan actually get. And it's not just for stuff like Fate, it's for stuff like Kamen Rider as well, which I know not as many people from my audience are interested in, but I know there's a couple of you guys out there. Like, a lot of that stuff just doesn't come over here, and so it's a really good way to gain access to being able to purchase some of these things that just never come over here to the West. And if you sign up using my link down in the description down below, you get 2,000 free yen directly put into your account just for signing up using my link, and you can use that to go ahead and, you know, purchase whatever you want. I mean, I might be having to scoop up a little bit of a summoning catalyst, you feel me? So, you know, I might have to get that before Morgan comes out. But thank you once again, Bai, for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to your regularly scheduled programming. So the first event that should be coming in the month of March for us over here on the NA version of the game, or rather the next two events that are coming to us, because Slapstick Museum and Chaldea Boys kind of come as a package for White Day, is going to be these two events. And I'm not gonna lie, I understand why people on the NA version of the game are not super excited for this event, because it's like an event, but it's not really an event. Like, you got the event shop, but you're not really getting anything like insanely out of the ordinary or crazy, unless you already have Amakusa or you're going to be summoning for Amakusa. But again, I don't expect a lot of people to go ahead and summon for him. Voyager also does come back, keep that in mind for kind of this like dual celebration over here. But I think the most important thing here is that some servants are going to be getting some buffs. I think Jinkei's buff is very interesting. I think Da Vinci getting the arts buff is definitely very strong. And then Amakusa, I believe, gets his final buff over here, where he just kind of becomes a very crazy servant. I've already like regaled at how good I think Amakusa is like numerous times, because I do legitimately think he's a very strong servant, but nobody's really going to go out of their way to summon for these guys when you have not only just like newer servants right around the corner, like if you're excited for like Galatea, but you also have just the whole Lost Belt 6 celebration right around the corner. It's either going to be in like a month-ish, or it's going to be in like 3 months, right? Or either way, regardless, it's very, very close. So nobody's going to be going out and summoning for these servants. But at the very least, you could take this as time to, I don't know, get some like free Saint Quartz for doing the event missions. Well, I say event missions, but I mean like just literally like the main quest missions. Like, I don't mean like, oh, it's like these other events where you have missions. It's like, no. Just like doing the quests and getting like the free Saint Quartz, I suppose, can be very nice. you know, going over here and grabbing the lore can be nice if you want to put up with all that. So yeah, really, like, for most players, it's just going to be like, okay, it's a couple of Saint Quartz here and there. If I have some of these servants, at least everybody can do the Jin K buff, you know, and I'm always talking about make sure you do your interludes, make sure you're doing your rank up quests, because every 10th one, not only do you get the Saint Quartz from doing the missions, but you also get 10 Saint Quartz for every 10 that you do. So just make sure you're always keeping up with it. But it's nice that they give Jin K one, so that kind of helps out more free-to-play players. And then if you happen to have either one of these two or both, you can also do those as well. But realistically, I think the only thing that people are going to care about is that, and then the tickets that they get over here. And maybe some people are going to summon for Voyager. Maybe some people will do that if you're like really coping on like the quick strategies. But ladies and gentlemen, it is the age of arts, and it's going to be the age of Buster in like, I don't know, 3 months tops or something, right? So come on, like, let's stop the copium. Unless you just really, really like Voyager, or you were just one of the few people that like the board game event. Otherwise, have at it. Expect this sooner than later, because we do have the Valentine's event ending on the 26th, and this President's Day campaign is ending on the 26th. Maybe it'll come after the 2nd, but I'm really hoping they don't just leave this kind of by itself for like, what, 5 days in between these two? Like, I'm really hoping they don't do something like that, because I don't want to sit here with just nothing but just like, yeah, here's the Arthur banner just sitting on there. Hopefully they just kind of like start smushing all this stuff together and start getting it going. But I also imagine they kind of have to keep this delayed a little bit because it's tied to White Day, like it's an actual holiday. But I don't know, maybe they'll be like, NA people don't celebrate White Day, let's just throw it out there early, let's just get this event out of the way. So then we can move on to the infamously misspelled event guide that I did like 2 years ago for this. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it because I'm gonna butcher, then someone's gonna, you know what, I'll make the attempt. Akihabara, there we go. Someone could tell me if I got that one wrong, but every time I try to pronounce something, I always get flamed in the comments down below. Like, I always just get obliterated. But this event, I like these towers where you have to use like 200 servants to clear. I think they're very, very fun. I know a lot of people stress about these events for some reason. Realize that you can do most of the actual like border, like the normal floors with like level 1 dudes. Like, you don't have to bring a full setup every single time. Like, you can just bring like a couple of dudes and clear. And as long as you're just moderately playing the game, you'll clear it. And I've even had some people come into my streams being like, dog, once I use a servant, how do I get them back? It's like, dude, they all have these resting areas. Like, you just put your servants in there, they rest up, and then you can use them again, right? You just throw them in there and they're good. So it's like, it's not super difficult, right? It's just like a little thing where you just kind of climb up the floors and then you're done, right? Unless you really care about Galatea, I mean, it's probably not going to be like that big of a deal. I just personally really like tower events. I just think they're really, really fun, getting to use a whole bunch of different servants. But unless you're a weirdo like me and you don't like these events, then March is probably going to be a bit of a dead month for you, because Galatea, as good as she is, and, you know, thank God I got my JP account back because I love using her. I think she's really, really strong. She's in the general pool, right? Like, if I just pull her up over here, you can see not limited in any way. Like, you can get spooked by Galatea at any time, which is good, but I think it's really funny that you can get spooked by both her and Vlad, and they both basically do the same thing. They do little things different, but you get what I'm saying. They're both like single target arts berserkers, right? They both do the same thing. So I think that's really funny, but unless you care about that, or maybe getting Nero Bride, who does get the Sky Attribute buff. Remember that this is targeted, so if you're bringing her as like a pseudo support or like a baby Castoria, she actually has a little more value now in being brought to those setups if you're going to be fighting, because, you know, Castoria gives threat against humanity, but that's not always live. Let's say you're fighting someone that has the Sky Attribute. Well, maybe there's actually a reason to bring Nero Bride along, right? Plus, it's Nero Bride. She's really cute. So unless you really care about her, not much really going to be going on here. I mean, or if you want Osaka Behime, but I don't think anybody's going to be using their quartz that they're saving for the Lost Belt 6 stuff for Osaka Behime, right? I don't think she's quite that popular. There is this huge, like, stupid, dumb class banner. Dude, do not summon on this banner. If I catch somebody summoning on this banner, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to throw pebbles at you for being very irresponsible with your Saint Quartz. No, I don't care if Waver is on raid up. No, don't do that, okay? Look, you gotta be smarter with your Saint Quartz, bro. Don't be going over here summoning for, like, you know, Artemis or Nightingale or, you know, Tamamo even. Like, bro, just scoop them up with the free ticket. Just scoop them up with the ticket if you want them that bad. Like, just come on, bro. Like, I feel like I don't have to hammer this in, but like, I probably will make a separate video being like, do not summon on this banner, right? It's a bad idea. It's a bad waste of your Saint Cords. But yeah, aside from that, it's not looking like March unless they do something really weird with the Lost Belt 6 stuff. It doesn't look like they're going to really do anything super insane. We might dip into like this spring thing, but I honestly thought that when I saw that, oh, they renamed the download campaign, because this is supposed to be a download campaign, to the Spring is Sprung, I thought they were just going to combine these two events right here, kind of smush them together, and I was like, oh, okay, so they're going to try to like free up space, because they are going to try to release Lost Belt 6 early, but then they didn't do that. They just renamed the download campaign for some reason, and then just called it a day. So I don't know, we might maybe see a little bit of these like early, because they do kind of seem to be pushing things a little faster at times, but then they also kind of seem to reel back and kind of go slower at times. So maybe you could see one of these two pop up. I don't think it's super likely. Maybe you'll see this at the absolute earliest. But yeah, March is looking like it's going to be just kind of like a very chill, mellow thing where, you know, maybe you hop over on JP where it's a little more bustling and exciting. You know, it's one of those months where people are like, all right, what new mobile game can I play? Or I'm finally going to go hop on JP because, you know, unless you're like me and you like the tower events over here, you're probably not going to be like super, oh my goodness, this was such a fun month, because this is kind of like a nothing burger event. This is literally just a banner. This is just absolute garbage, and then you have to just like the event to actually even care about this. I don't know, but maybe some people are like really excited for Galatea. If you're going to be summoning for Galatea, let me know, because I'd like to see if anybody's like super excited for her. Maybe getting Nero Bride, who is a little tantalizing for me to go for, because I am a huge Saberface simp, so that's a little tantalizing. I don't know, maybe they'll get me, maybe they won't, but yeah, with that being said, let me know what you guys think for the month of March. You guys can also just drop your hot takes on what you think is going to go down with the Lost Belt 6. I think at the absolute worst, what's probably going to happen is they're like, all right, here, bam, here's the pre-release campaign instead of like, where did it go? This over here, right? I think that's like the biggest hot take that they're going to do, because they still have to release that before they actually release Lost Belt 6. So I don't know. Let me know your takes in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.